right.
All right.
That might have been too loud. But
we are recording both audio and visuals.
We're live,
today.
Both audio and visual.
That's exciting. How was your New Year's?
My New Year's was pretty uneventful. I just stayed in, watched movies, and played video games.
Okay.
That's all I did. Oh, and I drank. That was the last time I drank. New Year's. Yeah.
Okay. What movies did you watch? Let's just hit on that briefly.
I saw Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's newest movie. I saw Saltburn, which is a new Barry Keoghan movie. And I saw Leave the World Behind, which is a movie with Ethan Hawke, Julia Roberts, and Mahershala Ali.
Now, this last one, I read the plot on Wikipedia.
Oh, you did?
Today, because someone else was telling me about it.
Yeah.
But she was like, I was really high during the movie, and I don't remember anything. I just know it was crazy.
Yeah. Did you read what did you think?
Yeah.
Sounds interesting to you?
Sounded intriguing, yeah. I thought the ending was kind of bleak, or
it's pretty
surprisingly not happy.
Yeah, you got some nerve critiquing the movie you haven't seen.
Well, that's all I can say about it, really.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Did you like it?
I thought out of those three that I mentioned, it was the best one. I think it's worth a watch. I would recommend it for one watch. Like, watch it once, probably never again.
Okay.
Saltburn, the Barry Keoghan movie, I would recommend it as a single watch too. Just because it has an interesting little plot twist. And then Rebel Moon was absolute fucking garbage. It's Zack Snyder's worst movie.
Wow, this is coming from you.
It's coming from me. Yeah, I know. He's my Lord and Savior.
Yeah.
That is his worst movie. It's like a 3-year-old wrote the movie. I do not recommend it.
Did he write it?
Yeah. So that's it. That's what I did. That's what my New Year's was like.
Okay. On my New Year's, I traveled a bit in Asia. Definitely.
A bit.
I definitely went through some interesting experiences.
Tell me.
Started off in Singapore. On my second day in Singapore, I got the worst food poisoning I've ever had in my entire life. I was completely bedridden for 8 hours. I could not get out of bed. I was just shitting and
you got food poisoning from food in Singapore?
Vomiting. Yeah.
Which
is apparently incredibly rare. And I shared a dish with my brother, and he was completely fine.
What'd you eat?
It was probably... Dog? No, they don't do that there. They're actually very civilized in Singapore.
Really?
It's very Western. You do not feel like you're in Asia, as opposed to Thailand, which is okay, I'm in Asia.
Okay.
But I shared I guess it was some squid appetizer that we had at a restaurant, and
that was gross.
I had the bad squid in the barrel of squid.
Aren't the chefs just supposed to be professionals?
It's very rare to get food poisoning in Singapore. You can drink the tap water is fine.
I drink tap water here.
I know, but in Thailand, for example, or in Mexico, they say you shouldn't drink the tap water.
Where'd you stay? Just a hotel?
The first 3 days we stayed at a hostel.
What's that?
A hostel? Oh, I see. How much traveling have you done?
None.
Have you ever gone overseas?
No.
Oh, wow. So it's a whole new world.
This is a whole new world.
Okay.
That's why I'm curious.
Yeah.
I'm pretty uncultured, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, a hostel is basically a poor person's hotel where you have a room with a bunch of strangers and you all sleep there together.
It's like a Motel 6.
No, it's one room this size, but there's bunk beds and you're sleeping in this size
in the
room.
army or something like that?
Yeah. Singapore was nice, but for the sake of time, I'll move on to the highlights of my trip. So I'll go back to so for Thailand. In Thailand, they have these things called ping pong shows. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
It's basically a very very graphic, erotic, burlesque type show. So it's called ping pong shows because the women go on stage and they literally toss. They push ping pong balls out of their pussy.
Oh, I don't think you can say that on YouTube.
No? Okay. So, ping pong shows, they push ping pong balls out of their vagina. You're allowed to say that. Oh, fuck. Out of their cooter.
I don't think you can say that either.
You can't say cooter?
No. I think you have to say, out of their parts.
Ugh, that's so lame.
Yeah.
Okay, out of their parts. They also stick markers in their parts and draw little pictures using just their part.
Oh, okay.
And then they like show you the drawing, and it's like, oh shit, that's pretty good. It's like better.
Oh, it's like a good drawing.
Yeah, it's like better than I can draw with my hand.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What kind of drawings did you get?
What did she draw? I don't know. She drew like a house or.
Is it like a strip club where like you get to like shove the marker in there for her and tell her what to draw?
No. They were doing it on their own.
No, that sucks.
I think probably if you pay enough money, they could.
They let you do that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I went with my 2 brothers to this.
And how old are they?
7 and 12. By the way, they're very aggressive on the strips where you go out. They're very aggressive to get you to go to a ping pong show.
Oh, okay, so they want you to go.
Yeah, they're like very aggressive. And in general in Thailand, everyone
like
is very aggressive. No, but it's like on another level.
Like they'll punch you or something?
No, like they'll walk with you for like 5 minutes being like ping pong show.
So how much does it cost?
It was like
US dollars.
Yeah, it was like I don't know, it's like $20 or something.
Oh, that's cheap.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how many girls is it? Like 10, 15?
They rotate out, or they're the same. It's hard to tell.
That's crazy. And all the girls are Asian?
All the girls are Asian, and they're various ages. So, like, there was, in the beginning, like, the show progressively gets better, I guess, because they want you to stay. We left in the middle because we're like, oh, we're tired of this.
The show gets better?
I think that's what they want you... Because the first act was a very old lady, and she had basically, like...
What's like they age them down, and that's
Yeah.
how the show gets better?
Yeah.
What's like the final age? 12?
We didn't stay that long. But, like, the first act, it was, like, an old lady who was, like, the equivalent of anal beads, I guess, but in her part. And she just kept... and it kept going.
I'm not sure if you can say
going.
anal beads either.
Beads that you put in your poopy part.
Okay, yeah.
Can you say that?
Yeah, I think. Beads that you put in your poopy part.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay.
So it just kept
But she was putting them in her other part.
Oh.
In her pee-pee part.
Oh, I see. And
Yeah.
it was like going in the pee-pee part and coming out
No.
of the pee-pee part?
It was just the pee-pee part.
And it just kept coming
And it just kept coming out. It kept coming out.
She
Yeah.
probably like swallowed it or something.
Probably.
Just, like,
Yeah.
it out, I
Yeah.
imagine that's has to do... Or they just like shove it in there, you know?
I don't know, but it was impressive, I guess, in a gross way. By the way, we did this not because we enjoy this type of stuff, but because it's just a very...
You can't get it anywhere else.
It's a very well-known thing there, and I wanted that experience of just
it's
going
like if
along.
you come to LA or California, you have to eat In-N-Out.
Exactly. That's exactly right.
So
yeah.
when you go to
You
Thailand,
go to a ping pong show.
you have to see a ping pong
Yes.
show. Yeah. Why do they call it that?
Because the main event, or I guess what they're famous for originally, was that they would shoot the balls out.
Oh, I see. And they would play ping pong like that?
No,
Oh.
they would just shoot them out.
Yeah, it'd be funny if like out of their pee-pee part they were holding the pong,
Yeah.
and then out of their poopy part they shoot out the ping, and they just like
Yeah, I mean, you need a table too, but...
yeah, maybe the table's like another woman. You
Oh,
know?
wow.
And it just
You know,
bounces.
you
It
should
bounces-
be like a director.
It
for
bounces off of
You should
you
be
know,
like a ping pong show director.
Maybe.
That might be your
Maybe
calling to
that's-
get into showbiz.
maybe that's my way to get in.
Yeah.
At this point, I'll do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Other highlights of that they gave me a balloon to hold, which I was like, what the fuck is this? And I thought, because in Thailand they love to inhale laughing gas, so basically whippets that they'll put in a balloon, so everyone's like drinking on the strip, and they're just like sucking from balloons.
Isn't that bad for you?
Oh, it's terrible for you.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Like worse than like a lot of things.
Yeah, it's actually, not good.
Yeah.
And they were just doing it all night long, man, like not nonstop.
I mean, I guess cigarettes are terrible for you too, and people do it all night long too.
I don't know.
So is alcohol.
I didn't try it, but I was just like, well,
What? You didn't try it? You didn't try the laughing gas at least
I
once?
didn't try it. I just didn't get the opportunity to.
See, I would have at least tried that one.
I would have tried it once.
I'm more
as well.
interested in trying laughing gas than anything else.
The first night we went out, we were so overwhelmed because the strip is insane. We went to one of the most famous strips called Khao Sun Road, and it's just like, you go, there's vendors yelling at you, there's the ping pong guys yelling at you, there's like clubs like blasting music,
Man,
everyone's
that's
trying to
wild.
get you to go to their bar. We were so overwhelmed, and this was also like our first day in Thailand, so we were just tired, and we we just went in to have a beer at one place. We're like seeing everyone just destroying cartons of laughing gas.
Yeah.
And we're like, we'll try some another day. And then we never had an opportunity. But
would you have tried it though?
Yeah, I would have tried it just out of curiosity because I would try anything once.
Anything.
Yeah. In case you have any ideas for after we finish the recording.
I got some heroin in the closet.
Oh, okay. You went drug route. I was thinking more like sexual.
Oh, I see. Why not both?
Anyway, so I bring up the laughing gas because they gave me a balloon at the ping pong show. So I was like, but it was tied. So I was like trying to figure out how to open it. Like, like maybe this is my chance to try it. And all of a sudden the balloon pops. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm looking at the stage and they're shooting darts out of their holes.
Their poopy part.
Yeah. And very skillfully aiming at the balloons all across the bar. Like people had
That's
balloons.
a crazy skill.
Yeah, crazy.
How do you
crazy.
even aim? Because you're not looking, or do they?
No, they're looking.
Or
Well,
do
they're
they look
looking.
like-
They're like crouching.
Is it like it's like this?
They're like it's like crab walk position.
Oh, that's kind of creepy.
Oh, it was horrible. It was not really a pleasant experience.
Like a circus.
Yeah, it was like a freak show. It wasn't like I don't know. Do people go there and they're aroused?
I'm sure some people do.
I'm sure they are. Yeah. Also, there was a lot more penis. Or let's say penis.
I think you can say.
Can you say honkers? You can say honkers.
I don't think you can say penis.
Okay, there were a lot of more honkers than I was expecting to see.
Honker sounds like.
Oh, you're right. I was trying to think of like sausages, I guess.
All right, yeah, sausages. You can say sausages. Yeah.
A lot more sausages than I was expecting. And there were like parts of the show.
Were they also doing the trick where they shoot it out of their poopy part?
No.
Where they were shooting it out of
there was no poopy part at all. I was just explaining so that you understand what the beads are. It's not like a regular bead. It's like the poopy part bead. But it was for the...
Sounds so stupid.
It does. Sounds like this is how I'd explain ping pong shows to a third grader.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was what I wanted to mention about Thailand. And then in Japan, so what happened to me in Japan, it was just my layover.
Japan's crazy. I do have a friend that lives over
Japan
there.
is... Oh, you have a friend who lives there?
Yeah, I know about Japan a little bit.
And you don't... Well, what do you know about Japan? Let's start there.
I know that the age of consent is like 14.
Actually, I think they recently raised it because they had a lot of backlash from that.
To 15.
Something like that, yeah.
Well, I know the age of consent is ridiculous.
It might be 16 now.
That's still...
We'll put it up. We'll put it up here.
Yeah, that's still weird.
Yeah.
And I know that they have like I know like Japan is famous for like or Asia as a whole, but Japan is like known for like where like the men are like really shy. So they have like special rooms. I forget what they're called. Like special rooms where you can like go and pay for a woman to just like talk to you.
Yeah.
And have like dinner with you or whatever.
They have
not even sexual.
cuddling.
Cuddling.
Only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have like the cuddling, and
they have like rent a girlfriend.
yeah, and then don't they have like their subways? Some of their subways are like their trains are like women only or men only.
Oh,
because,
not that I know.
No. Is it Japan? I feel like I don't know if it's Japan where they have that because like the men are too shy and the women don't want to be like bothered. Or
But
whatever.
in Japan and a lot of other places in Asia, they have a molestation on the subway problem.
And I think that's why they
people
made
will, like
that.
grope women on the
Yeah, I think that's why they separated they gender like. I'm sure now they have like they them and shit like that.
I've never seen
Although,
that.
I don't think
being in
Japan
Japan
is as like LGBTQ friendly as like the U.S. My friend has told me that.
You're saying they have they them specific.
I was saying I wonder if they do, but I don't think they do
No.
because
I don't think they have women only ones either. That's
sure.
just not efficient. In Japan, they're all about efficiency.
I'm pretty sure they do have women ones.
Okay, well we'll put that up.
We'll
here.
look it up. I could be wrong.
You can also rent a fat guy.
Really?
Yeah, you can just like hang out with him, like get some food with him.
You're joking.
No, that's a real thing.
You're fucking
No,
joking.
I'll put it.
There's
here.
no way that's.
I'll put it here, and then you can suck
There's
it
no
again.
way that's real.
It's real.
You can rent a fat guy.
Yeah.
And he'll hang out with you?
Yeah.
Like he'll eat your food or something?
No, he'll eat with you.
Just to eat?
Yeah. No, you can do whatever you want with
How
him.
much does it cost? Can you?
I don't know. No. It's a non.
Oh,
It's just like as friends.
only friends.
Only friends. I'm gonna make that.
And how much does it cost? Like $5?
I have no idea, but it's not that expensive. The living standard in Japan is not that expensive.
Yeah, that I know. Yeah. And the food's like healthier there. Even the fast food. Did you go to McDonald's there?
To take a dump.
You didn't get the food? Man, I would love to go to a McDonald's in Japan and get like the teriyaki mac or whatever.
But I was like, I'm in Japan. I'm not gonna go.
Their
to
menu's
McDonald's.
different, and like their food tastes different. Like the nuggets over there
I know,
taste
but I'm
different.
gonna get the sushi and like the cool shit. I'm not gonna.
Well,
go to
you can
McDonald's.
get like a 4-piece. You can get a 4-piece just
Listen,
to taste it. And
if
then
I was there for longer, I would say yes.
if you were there with me, you would have gone.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I went to one of the more exotic things about Japan that I went to was the anime district. It's called Aki.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I would go to that if I went there.
Yeah, it was super fascinating. They have a lot of things that are just really jump out at you that you're just like, this is completely different than what we're used to. For example, they have the arcade. They have like giant arcades, like 4 stories arcade rooms. Mm-hmm. And the ones I saw, at least where I was, it was very music based.
Okay.
So it was like a lot of drum games and a lot of like, there was like a piano game, and these guys are going fucking hard, dude. Like they're going like.
Well, yeah, I mean the
extreme mode, and they're just like, and it was insane. I tried one game, and I was struggling a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean they're like religiously good at video games over there.
Yeah, it's like when you play a game online and you see the name is in
it's all
Chinese or
some
in
Asian
Japanese.
shit.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
And that I saw that in person.
You saw a physical manifestation of all those Chinese letters.
Yeah. It was insane. And even like old people were there. They're just like killing it with the games.
Yeah, well, that's part of like the whole like loneliness crisis.
Yeah. That's probably all that guy does all day.
Yeah.
So he just goes to that. Also, I'll put up a picture, but for some of the regular video games, the controls, it was like legitimately like an Xbox controller. If you cut an Xbox controller in half and you like space them out, that's what it looked like. They had floors of just gacha machines. Gacha machines, it's like
prank shit?
No. But I could see why you'd think that. It's like you put a coin in like a gumball machine and you get a gumball.
Yeah.
So it's like that, but you win some prize, which is in a plastic ball. Which is so, childish.
I know, that sounds like a waste of money.
Like, who the fuck cares kind of thing? But they had stories that are just dedicated to that.
Really?
Yeah. And just like rows and rows. And there were people in there.
That's great. Little kids or like...
No, like adults. You can choose... It's kind of like a roulette thing where, you got like your anime, like you got one
Is there anything good in any of them?
So, no, it's nothing valuable. And it's random if you get the one you want. So like, I did one where...
It's like real life loot boxes.
Yes. But you never get anything valuable.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe there's probably some gacha machines where it's like you actually can resell it for some money. I don't know. But in general, it's like these little like...
Well, they're called gacha machines because they're a fucking waste of money. That's why. They prank you by taking away your money and giving you garbage.
Maybe that means something in Japanese. I don't know.
It means something in English.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they name it in English. The Japanese people don't know what that means.
But it's a gacha.
Not
gotcha.
It's gotcha. They just, fucking found a way to make it sound like Japanese, but it's an English
I like
word.
this conspiracy.
I think it's a real conspiracy, actually.
Well, the next thing I want to say was that they have rooms and giant floors filled with slot machines. And now gambling is technically illegal in Japan, but there's some loophole where if you play a slot machine, you can win prizes which you can then redeem for money. Oh, so they're packed. They're fully packed. And you keep going up, and there's all these like I went to this building because there's a bunch of like anime on it, and it looks just very welcoming, and I was just curious.
Yeah. And
you go inside and it's just slot machine rooms.
Jesus.
And it's not like the ones in the US. They're not brightly colored and in your face like that. It's just literally just like everyone's shoulder to shoulder in there, like
that's gross.
For feet and feet just going.
And you put money in them?
I guess. I think you have to put money on a card, like a special card, and then you use that card. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure if Japanese people came to Vegas, they would find that bizarre.
Probably. Or they would love it. They'd be like, I'm home.
But you said it's not even like the same kind of slot machines. Or...
But the concept is the same.
I guess.
And you can literally just insert your cash in there, which is way better. Those should be called gotcha machines.
They should, but they don't because we're in America. So
Maybe that's what they're called in Japan.
maybe slot machines is actually a fucking Japanese word. Slot machine.
And then I stumbled into a sex store in Japan.
Stumbled into.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that was. What do they have? I mean, that can't be crazier than the ping pong shit.
No, but it was. I went in there.
They have like dolls, right?
Well,
robots.
I went in there being like, all right, this is Japan. They're gonna have some crazy shit here.
Robots.
And I was not disappointed.
Yeah, they had robots.
They had dolls, but there was a sign that said "not for sale." I don't know. What
like
all about.
full-fledged dolls from like the top to bottom, and they look real.
Not really. They look like dolls.
Oh man.
But they're silicone. They're not like filled with air. But it was a 4-story sex store.
Wow.
And the top 2 floors, women are not allowed to go in there.
Really?
Yeah.
Women are not allowed to go to the top. Please tell me.
Top 2, of course.
And what's in there?
And it wasn't anything interesting. It was just like fleshlights and like masturbation tools.
So women aren't allowed to go in there?
No. And so what if you want to get a gift for someone?
I know. I feel like that's the only reason they'd want to go in there.
Right.
So all it is fleshlights and masturbation?
Basically, but it was like huge rows of fleshlights where each box had like a different anime character on it.
Oh, I see.
So I guess you're like fucking all the different, like you get to choose which one you want to smash. The weirdest thing I saw in there was a whole section dedicated to if you want to like cosplay as a baby, if you want to like pretend to be a baby, and there were just like a bunch of diapers and
wait, in the sex store?
Yeah.
That's
there was like a whole section for it, like a lot of diapers and like
for
baby
men?
stuff in adult sizes. I guess it's unisex. I don't know. The women were allowed in that section.
That's insane. That fucking nuke fucked them up, bro.
The radiation's getting to them.
I don't think... Was that stuff even like a thing before?
No, not really. You know, like if you go to a sex store in the U.S., it's like kind of shameful and usually it's empty in there.
Yeah, usually. I've been to a couple and it's like they're small and like you don't want to be seen.
You kind of like put your hat down, although you don't really want to be seen.
And like the freakiest stuff that they have, it's at least the ones that I've been to, are like not dolls but like asses, like fake asses.
Here it was like totally packed. It was like people were shopping for t-shirts. You know, it was just so casual. And no shame, which I kind of like.
Yeah, I mean there is a positive aspect to it.
I like that.
There shouldn't be a shame.
It shouldn't be a shameful thing.
If you're into shit, you're into shit. As long as it's not like illegal.
Yeah.
The baby stuff is weird.
But no one was in that section, to be fair.
Yeah, you were though.
I was, yeah. I brought some diapers home.
You bought some souvenirs.
Yeah. The other weird thing which Japan's known for, and I saw in that store, it was...
Godzilla.
No, but it was gotcha machines. There were gotcha machines in there, but it was for used panties.
Wow.
Yeah. And there was a whole section that was used panties.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
See that?
That's a thing that Japan's known for.
Wow, you can just collect panties.
Used, yeah.
Yeah, they don't wash them.
No.
How do you donate? Like, how does it?
Yeah, I guess so. Like someone.
It's like recycling soda cans here. You know what I mean? You just take them somewhere and you get money.
You send them away. Someone sniffs your old can.
Yeah.
Gets a kick out of it.
No.
Yeah, so nasty.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is there some for men too?
Like, well, they're all for men. What do you mean? I don't think any women are buying those.
Like used boxers.
Well, for women, you mean?
No, for men.
For men?
Yeah.
But they're for men. The panties are for men.
Right. What if there's like gay men? They don't have like boxers that are all ripped up and with fucking piss and shit.
No.
You know, gotcha machines for men's boxers.
No, I guess that people are not interested in that. Well, the last thing I wanted to mention about that was I tried poisonous pufferfish when I was in Japan.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that. That's just dangerous. I would not try it.
I don't know. It's like 5 deaths a year.
You could have been one of them. No, with how unlucky you got with that squid, why would you even try that?
And the thing about that was I got food poisoning again
from
Thailand. No, in Thailand, but it was like my last day in Thailand into being in Japan. So I was thinking when I was eating it, I was like, I'm not gonna know if it's from the Thailand food poisoning or if it's because I'm about to die.
Well, the pufferfish kills you.
Yeah. So I think I'm good.
So you had like a chef that like cut it up and shit.
Yeah, there's I went to a special place. Like that's all they make there. It's called fugu in Japanese. I don't know. Whatever. It's safer than driving a car.
I guess. Was it good?
So I tried it in a bunch of different ways.
Well, you tried it more than once. You fucking.
Oh, I ate a whole meal of just the fish. The sashimi wasn't that good. It was a little chewy. That wasn't my favorite. I also tried the skin, which was okay. My favorite was the cooked version of it, where they brought you a little grill with like wood burning and a bunch of the fish parts.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Hey, enjoy." And I'm thinking like, isn't this poisonous? Like, why am I cooking this? But I'm a good chef, so I wasn't too worried.
Yeah.
That tasted really great. And then the last one I had was the pufferfish milt.
Melt?
Milt, Milt.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
Is that like its dick?
You're close. It's the semen.
Ooh, yummy.
Yeah, and that was also very good. I enjoyed that. It was char grilled. And
The semen.
yeah.
And it's like grilled, you said? But it's liquid.
No, it wasn't. It was like in a sack.
Puffer. Oh, so but there's liquid in there.
It wasn't really liquidy. It was creamy.
Mm.
It tasted like cheese a little bit.
Yummers.
I bet if you had it and I didn't tell you what it was, you would have liked it. It's only because you knew what it was. And they were like, you're very lucky because they only produce this in the winter.
Why am I lucky?
Like, they were telling me.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So what do they do? Do they like jerk off the pufferfish and then drop it somewhere? Like,
No, I think it just like stores it in its balls in the winter because it's getting ready
and
to...
they cut off its balls.
Well, it doesn't have balls to
So
fish.
is it like
It's like
eating-
internal.
So you bite into it and it's like, what color is it?
It's white.
Oh, so you literally ate cum.
Yeah, but it's fish cum. I have a craving for milt now.
I'll give you some human cum later, see if you like that shit.
Some human milt?
I guess maybe I would try it, but like it's.
Oh, nice. Would you try it
I don't-
knowing what it was, or would you want?
Because you described it as creamy, and
I described it as it tasted.
it sounds like it actually sounds like nut, like that's what it sounds like.
No, but nut is more watery. This had more consistency. to it.
Sometimes a nut's creamy too.
No, but this was too. It was too creamy for. It was like a cottage cheese kind of.
It's like thick cheese.
You know what I forgot to ask you about New Year's? What color was your underwear? Do you know about that?
Yeah, I've heard that you have to like make sure to change it or have it be red, and red means love or sex.
Red means this is a Mexican thing apparently.
It is a Mexican thing. I've heard of it. It's I don't know. I was fucking. I think I had them multicolored, red and blue probably.
Red, only two colors matter. It's red means love and yellow means money.
I should have worn yellow. Why isn't it green? That means money. Why yellow?
Well, what color are the pesos?
Green, red, blue.
Oh shit!
There's a bunch of different colors. Pesos are anything but yellow. Actually, I've never seen a yellow peso.
Wow. Well, maybe when it was invented, the color of money was different.
Like gold, maybe because gold back in the days.
There you go.
Like a gold coin,
There you
maybe. Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, anyway, I wanted to briefly hit on Echo because we just watched it.
I mean, you and I have different perspectives on it, right?
I don't think so.
Well, we have different
we have different contexts
context
behind
coming
watching
into
it.
it, right? So our experience was slightly different, if not really different, actually, because I watched all of Daredevil. I've seen the show like all seasons, like at least twice.
Wow.
And I watched Luke Cage. I watched Iron Fist. Like I watched all the Netflix shows. So I was looking forward to Echo. First reason, the first M-rated Marvel thing, and because I was gonna get more Kingpin, and I was hoping to get more Daredevil, and Echo was interesting enough in the Hawkeye show. So after watching the first episode, though, I'm extremely disappointed. I thought that it was structured so weirdly, because there are people that haven't seen Hawkeye. There are people that never saw Daredevil, and then vice versa. There's people that have seen Daredevil but haven't seen Hawkeye, or maybe people that have seen Hawkeye but haven't seen the Daredevil show. So like, there's so many different. I mean, it's their own fault. They fucked it up by doing this in a TV show. Like, Kingpin's reintroduction to the MCU probably should have been Echo, not Hawkeye. And it's so confusing. Like, the structure of the episode was so weird. Like, they started. I thought they were gonna start, like you mentioned, with showing Kingpin and Echo's like connection, because they show it in Hawkeye. They actually like show a little bit of their.
Because the whole point is that Kingpin kind of raised her.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. You mentioned earlier that they try to make this as commercially consumable for people that haven't seen anything. If that's true, then they would have reshown what they showed in Hawkeye, because in Hawkeye, they show their first interaction when he goes to, and they show like 2 seconds of it when he meets her at the Taekwondo place. That scene is longer in Hawkeye. Like, he sits down and he talks to her and like
they didn't want to waste the time. You know, for me,
I know you don't want to waste the time, but like, it's like you actually learn more about Echo if you watch Hawkeye than if you watch this first episode.
I think having not the same, having no context the way that you did, haven't seen Daredevil, I haven't seen Hawkeye, I think that they did a fine job of giving me the information that I needed.
Maybe it was better for you. I was confused as shit. Like, I was trying to remember, like, what did I already see in Hawkeye? Because there are scenes that they reuse here from Hawkeye, but they just show more to show, like, the gore. And, like, so I was confused as fuck. Like,
that being said, I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't disappointed. It was exactly what I was expecting it to be, which was to be just like another garbage Marvel show.
Well, you said you were excited that it was the next M-rated.
I was looking forward to seeing what they would do with finally like having a TVMA.
It wasn't even that bad.
And it was not that bad. No, it was really mild. I was
It's literally
it
like, I think
more.
Winter Soldier had the same amount of violence. The only difference is that Echo has blood splats. That's like the only difference.
Yeah, pretty much. I thought it would be like significantly gory, and I'm sure compared to Daredevil, it's not.
No, it's nothing, and I don't know. Like, they're not really respecting the lore or the canon either, because like I mentioned earlier, Daredevil does make a cameo in the first episode. It was surprising and welcome. Kind of weird. He shows up really randomly, and then like
It just dips.
I guess obviously to develop this fucking like rivalry between him and Echo. Like I said, the structure's so weird. Like, tonally, it's like he shows up and leaves or whatever, and like they fight a little bit, and Kingpin tells Echo that none of his men have ever held their own against Daredevil. That's a fucking lie. In Daredevil, he gets his ass kicked by regular dudes. Like, I mean, yeah, they're trained and shit. And like the fights are obviously choreographed, but like he almost dies like every other episode. Like, he gets injured, like he's running out of breath. Like, that's what makes Daredevil so cool. It's grounded, like more grounded, more realistic. So they're not respecting that, and I also like don't even the way Daredevil moves, the way he was moving, the way he was fighting, it was more cartoony.
It probably wasn't even the same guy out of the suit.
It was the same guy.
Yeah,
it was
it
the same guy, but it felt more cartoony, kind of like not as bad as She-Hulk. In She-Hulk, this motherfucker is like doing 10 backflips and falling down the skyscraper and then jumping in using the wind or some shit. Like, using that baton that he has is like a spider web. She-Hulk, Daredevil was ridiculous, but in this one it still felt like really, I don't know, too comic booky. That feels like an unfair criticism, but that's what I like Daredevil.
Okay, so
yeah, I don't know.
Would you continue watching the show?
Maybe once I might check out the second episode, if I feel like it. If I don't, what I'm probably gonna do is let it finish and see what people think. See like the general consensus, and if people say that, because I have a few, there's no way people like this. I mean, I'm sure there's some people that like
I
it.
think generally,
There's no way people are gonna love this. This isn't Loki. Like people aren't gonna love. There's no way. I'll be shocked. We'll find out.
No, I can tell you right now.
We'll put the Rotten Tomatoes score like on the thing right here when after we edit it right here. Yeah. But there's no way people love this. I don't think they're gonna love this. I'm sure that people will like it and whatever, but like I don't think that's a good. I'll probably wait until, like I said, wait until it's over, see what people think, and if it has good reviews, watch it. If not, just like read the wiki page, watch the scenes, like the important scenes or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I think it's interesting to have a deaf and one-legged woman.
For me,
like
I don't. I think it's just a checklist.
it is a checklist.
Disabled woman.
It's a
Native
checklist.
American,
It's a checklist.
deaf.
It's a checklist, but I think the chick's a good actress.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough for me
I think
to
she's
say
doing.
one way or another.
I think she's doing.
I think
pretty
the
well
supporting
within the
cast
two.
were horrible performances. Besides Kingpin, I think everyone else was horrible.
Oh yeah, I agree with that. Even the Native Americans.
Yeah, they're
really bad.
awful.
But yeah, I mean, Kingpin's the most interesting part of the show. Like, he didn't do anything. Like, I don't know, dude. It's not good. That's my thing. It's not that good. I'd say it's probably on the same level as Hawkeye. Like, they're both bad for different reasons. But in terms of like quality level, like, actually no. I mean, I at least watched Hawkeye all the way through.
Well, you said you might for this one.
After it's done.
The only other thing I want to say about it is that I'm good. Like,
You're
I'm not gonna watch anymore.
Well, I'll let you know what happens.
Okay.
And I know that the other thing you wanted to touch on was what if.
Yeah.
And I am curious.
Um,
We also have different perspectives on this, like different context.
you watched the first season.
I watched the first season of What If. I thought some of the episodes were really good. The zombie one I thought was really cool. And I liked the one where T'Challa becomes Star-Lord.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I vaguely remember that.
one. And then I liked the Doctor Strange one.
Well, I like the way that they tied it all together at the end. I thought that was cool. And there was some fourth wall breaking where the Watcher is like involved in the plot, which I thought was cool.
I thought season 1 was pretty creative. I wasn't wowed by it, but like I enjoyed it. The animation bothered me a little bit. I don't know if I'm a fan of like that animation style.
It didn't bother me too much.
It's
I
kind
thought
of
it was
annoying.
okay.
I don't know.
Okay, well you didn't watch season 2.
I did not because of the trailer. I saw the trailer and like all their what if scenarios. Like what made me watch season 1 was the what if scenarios sounded cool. I was like, oh shit, that's interesting. But the trailer for season 2, like all the what if scenarios, I thought were so lame.
Yeah, so I agree with you. I think that the scenarios could have been better, but part of the reason they chose those were because they wanted to tie in everything at the end again, like they did in season 1. So all those characters came back and they all like fought together or whatever. Overall, it wasn't as good as season 1 in my opinion. I thought it was still pretty decent and watchable. There were some good episodes, like
it's better than Echo.
It's definitely better than Echo. The first episode was cool, and in general, the theme was kind of like 80s movies. Every one was based off of a different 80s movie. So like the first one was Blade Runner. It was like Blade Runner inspired. That was probably my favorite episode with Nebula as the main character. There was another one with Happy Hogan. So that was like Die Hard inspired. In general, the concepts weren't super interesting. It was like, what if Avengers were in 1602?
Yeah,
like,
see,
whatever.
I don't know. Like, why didn't they do like a sequel to the zombie stuff?
Yeah.
Or why didn't they do something more interesting? I don't know. Like, even Peggy as Captain Carter, which I thought was the weakest part of season 1. Even
and they really lean into it that hard.
That makes me
in season 2.
I thought that was the weakest part of season 1.
There was another interesting episode in season 2 was there was like a Native American episode which I liked, where it was like part of the Tesseract. The Tesseract lands in Native American times, and like they all like develop these powers and shit.
Well, that's kind of
that was cool.
Maybe that's gonna tie into Echo.
Maybe.
Right? Because the beginning they had like the powers and you can jump between worlds and shit.
That was kind of how it was in What If, that
That's
episode.
probably what it's gonna tie in. It's gonna tie into Echo.
It's possible, but that was a cool character. I like that. But overall, I would say it's like you can watch it and you can probably have it on the background while you do some other shit, or you can just skip it, and that's totally fine too.
I mean, I might give it a try then, since I trust you.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna end up watching Echo, you might as well freaking watch this. And then, lastly, over the break, we heard the news of Jonathan Majors getting dropped from Disney.
I know, man. That's crazy.
So, what do you think? What do you think about that? What do you think is going to happen? So apparently they're keeping Kang. They're just going to potentially replace him with another actor. Yeah. One of the actors I heard was the guy from
Fear the Walking Dead.
Yeah. Which is pretty
that
good.
would actually be,
and he's getting a lot of
he's a good actor.
Yeah, he was nominated for a Golden Globe just now,
because he was also in Euphoria.
His career's really picking up. I think he would be a pretty decent choice.
I do, and he's one of the best parts of Fear.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be a good choice, and it makes sense within the story that it's a different person. But I also do think that what I think is going to happen, I think is going to depend on the public perception. Because I don't know if you saw, but they recently released like a teaser for an interview with Jonathan Majors on ABC.
Yeah.
Where he's gonna like talk about that stuff.
Kind of restore his perception.
So I think what Disney's doing, because Disney owns ABC. So
very interesting.
I think what they're doing is I think that they fired him, obviously.
Because they have to. They have to cover their backs.
They have to cover their backs. But I think what they're gonna do is they're going to test public perception on him by releasing that interview where he's going to open up about whatever and what he did and shit, and then they're going to see how people react to it. And I think that if Disney starts seeing that people start having sympathy towards him, or if they start to say like, oh, well, he should be, they're going to see what people say, and depending on what people say, I think that's going to be what they do.
I think you're 100% correct. In addition,
it's no coincidence that they own ABC. And that's where they're releasing.
So true, yeah. Did not think about that.
They're doing that.
Plus, he will appeal the ruling. He will. Appeal,
I think he will, and I do think. I mean, it's a shame because I do like him as Kang. I thought he was.
I think he's an incredible actor.
He's the strongest part of this new Phase 4, all this multiverse shit. He is the strongest part of it. Was like, I want to see him, like, kick the Avengers out. I want to see him kill everybody.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see him do what Thanos couldn't do.
He's always the star whenever there's a scene.
Yeah, even in Ant-Man 4. And in Loki Season 2 and Loki Season 1. Like, he was good. He has good screen presence. He's a good actor. The villain is interesting as a character. So, I mean, they did shoot themselves in the foot a little bit by showing that end credit scene at the end of Ant-Man 4 where they're all Jonathan Majors.
Well, they weren't expecting this to happen.
I know, they weren't.
But they could easily, if they go the route of replacing him, I think they could easily do it in a way where it's like not mentioned and it's just a new actor. And
they don't have to. They didn't even have to say anything. Personally, I wouldn't mind if they like maybe brought in another actor to be like the main Kang and sidelined him as like a side Kang that gets defeated if they want. Like.
So you think they might go a route of incorporating the character shift into the plot?
They could.
They could do that. Yeah, that's what I like about this multiverse saga is that literally there's endless possibilities of what they can do.
I mean, they can make it good. It's just, I mean, it sucks that this happened, but like I think that they're lucky that they're dealing with a villain. I heard rumors that like they were thinking of shifting towards Doctor Doom or whatever.
Well, I was about to say what I would love is for it to be Kang is like, fighting the Avengers or something, and then all of a sudden his head gets chopped off, and it's like Doctor Doom, baby.
No.
I would love that.
I think
they're saving Doctor Doom for Fantastic Four.
They better, because I heard a lot of rumors that they're thinking of shifting to Doctor Doom, and
they won't do it because they have years and years of material planned. They can't just throw it all in the garbage.
I don't know. You'd be surprised how.
They need Doctor Doom for Fantastic Four and X-Men. That's going to be the main villain of their
I hope
stories.
that's what they do. They need to save Doom for that. I hope they don't just bring him in now because of all this shit. They need to get creative. They can fix it. Kang is the only character that would.
But seeing the past couple of years of what they've been doing, I am not too confident.
Well, we'll see. Like I said, my prediction is Disney wants to see what the public thinks. I don't know if that interview's out yet, but did you see the trailer? It's like it came out of The Boys. Bro, that fucking trailer is like, oh, the music.
It's dramatic.
Yeah, it's so dramatic. It's crazy. And creepy.
Well, we'll see. It's a good place to end, and
yeah, I mean,
I'm optimistic for the future. Cheers to the new year.
cheers to the new year, bud. There's nothing in here.